Have you ever gone to sleep and had a dream about something, only for it to then actually happen in reality? This is a phenomenon known as precognition, a knowledge or perception of the future obtained through extrasensory means. Although precognition is often dismissed as simply chance, an interesting new scientific perspective is emerging that could change our understanding of the relationship between consciousness, dreams, and time. The idea that dreams can predict the future has been a part of human culture since the beginning of civilization. In the oldest story ever recorded, the Epic of Gilgamesh, which was written around 2100 BC in ancient Mesopotamia, many of the dreams experienced by the tale's heroes Gilgamesh and Enkidu serve as premonitions of future events. Jumping forward to the 20th century, Carl Jung, one of the founding fathers of modern psychology, spent many years of his academic career researching this phenomena, calling it synchronicity. Jung began to develop his study into synchronicity after a meal at his house with Professor Einstein, whose theory of relativity came to him in a dream, in which he began to think of a relativity of time as well as space and their psychic conditionality. Precognition is now studied scientifically by a growing number of academics across the world. Dr. Stanley Krippner, professor of psychology at Saybrook University in Oakland, California, has been studying this phenomena since the 1960s.
Now, in summary, what we did was to have a dreamer go to sleep and try to dream about a picture that would be randomly selected the next day. After 8 nights of these experiments, we had outside evaluators try to match his responses with the correct picture, if you're following me. And of chance, he'd get right maybe 1 out of 8 times. No, he was right 6 out of 8 times. This is statistically significant.
Now following on from his research, Dr. Julia Mossbridge has most recently advanced the studies within this field.
I think the research that I've done that is most convincing to people is the work that I've done on taking a group of 26 different studies that looked at how the body changed in preparation for a future event. And in these experiments, the future event is randomized. So for instance, the future event could be, you look at a computer screen and there's a picture of someone with a gun pointing it at you. Or the future event could be, you look at a computer screen and there's a nice little pastoral image with some flowers. Those give very different responses after people see them. But what the study shows is that they give very different responses before people see them, even though they don't know what event they're about to see. And I think, to me, that relates back to dreaming, because that's a completely unconscious process. Most people don't control what's in their dreams. It just happens to you.
Quantum physics is providing insights into how the very nature of the universe is far stranger than we ever believed. Discoveries like quantum entanglement, 2 points in space separated over a vast distance reacting simultaneously, and retrocausality, a reversing of cause and effect, have begun to seriously question our current understanding of time and space.
Quantum retrocausality is this idea that effects from the future, things that we normally think of as effects from the future, could actually be causes for the present. In a way, sort of forming a loop. And there's lots of people right now in physics who are studying causal loops or time loops to try to understand how that might work.
If there was any way of transcending time and space, perhaps the most complex machine in the universe, the human brain, would be the way to do it.
I think of precognition as mental time travel. If you're having a memory of the future, just like you have a memory of the past, that's like information coming from a quantum state in the future and then going to the past. Now it's become a memory of the past, but it's also potentially that you're then causing a different state in the future.
Time is very poorly understood. Hypothetically, it's possible that we could travel back and forth in time, either in our dreams or in other states of consciousness. Time is very complicated. And time might not be the same all over the galaxy. It might not even be the same for an individual. A time approach during dreaming might be very different than time during logical waking thinking. During dreaming, we might enter into an area of consciousness where time simply behaves differently.
Perhaps one way of viewing time is like water in a river, with the start and end of the stream connected as one entity despite being in different places. But why are many scientists so quick to dismiss precognitive dreams as a result of rationalistic probability? The answer may be that the origins, abilities, and functions of consciousness itself remain science's elephant in the room, still labelled as the hard problem.
The skepticism is being tempered with data now. So things went from you were a bit of a scientific heretic if you even asked the question, is this stuff real? And now I do a lot of work trying to help people understand that even if their first gut instinct is this doesn't make sense, that's just because we don't understand human capacities as much as we will in the future.